I mean, our other little joke was saying we get 20 people would be a little bit disappointed. 30 to 40 was the sweet spot, so we're really delighted to see all of these people, all of you come out tonight. So we have a tremendous slate of candidates and fair numbers. We've got 9 right now. We're delighted that you are all able to be here. I'm going to just basically explain the process, the structure of the discussion tonight, and then I'm just going to back out. We've written it on the board, and we wrestled a little bit, trying to figure out what should it just be sort of a free-for-all with questions, how much control do we give or how little control. What we decided was we did an informal survey of the candidates and a few different community members to get a sense of what were the top issues. And so we decided that we would focus this debate on transportation, development, and the relationship between councillors and the community. We know that there are a lot of other issues that are meaningful to you. You may have a lot of other questions, so this is not going to be the last discussion or debate within this community. We look forward to hosting more, and we hope that some of you will step forward to help with organizing. But we are going to stay focused, and we're going to be fairly precise with the timing as well, both for the candidates in terms of their responses, as well as the audience in terms of questions, making sure that the questions are coming across as questions rather than statements. So I think I'm going to leave it there. The format is going to start with a 2-minute introduction from each of the candidates. We'll just go from your right to left. There's no sort of prescription on what they should or should not talk about, so it's just a first chance for many of you to get a chance to know the candidates and hear a little bit from them. And then what we'll do is, in each of transportation, development, and councillor community relations, I'm going to start with an opening question. That's a fairly general question. They'll have 1 minute each to answer that question, and then we'll open it to the audience to ask 1, 2, or 3 questions, depending on timing, that's related to that field or to that topic, and allows you to really drill down. And for those questions, you're welcome to pose them to the entire group, or to pose it to a specific candidate or a couple of candidates. So we'll leave it at that, and I think we'll get started here with Doug, and welcome you to start with 2 minutes.
Hello everyone, my name is Kirk. Thank you for taking the time out to come here today. It's people like yourself that make this Warren City an exciting place to live. It's both a pleasure and an honor to run as a candidate for Ward 18. My choice of running for this ward was not the result of a lucky draw. Honestly, it's been the easiest decision I've made. As most immigrants to Canada, I was attracted to the country's image as a land of peace and a place where men and women would be accepted, regardless of color and creed. I can now say with much certainty that I've experienced life in Canada to the fullest, from sweeping floors to working in construction and later a father. Though there were tough times along the way, there were many achievements, the greatest of which are my 9- and 6-year-old son and daughter, Ken and Kira. Unlike myself, the only home they have ever known is actually here in Davenport, and that is one of the reasons why I've decided to run, to ensure that our community continues to be our home. Traffic, transit, and taxes, 3 T's. Those are the issues that will be the central point to my movement. I will look at ways, I will allow my traffic, transit, and taxes issues will be based fully on what's going on in the community. We will make our goal to address and tackle these issues head on. I've lived in Davenport for just under 7 years now, and within that time, I've seen businesses that was once thriving now collapsing. Bakeries that was once crowded, almost empty. Why? Because of the lack of parking, because of the absence of any public transportation. Personally, I will never allow what happened on Lansdowne and Gladstone Avenue to happen again under my watch. I will look at ways of restoring these streets to their original layouts. People have lost faith in politicians, and I am here to restore that faith. And I quote the great James Jacobs, "Cities have the capability of providing something for everybody, only because and only when they are created by everybody." End quote. With every new beginning comes a new direction. Respect, empower, and include. Thank you.
Frank, there's a pass that mic a little bit. There's a second one behind you that maybe you just want to pull out that's supposed to be there. So thank you to all the candidates for your opening remarks. So we're going to move into the first topic of discussion, which is transportation. And just to repeat the format, I'm going to offer up a fairly general question. We're going to invite the candidates to respond. They'll have 1 minute each. Lance will continue to show them the sign when there's 30 seconds left. And at this time, there's no order, so I'm just going to ask you to volunteer to step forward one at a time. Don't make me point at you. So the very first question is this. How do you propose to balance the interests of cyclists, pedestrians, and automobiles in our ward? So I'll repeat that question. How do you propose to balance the interests of cyclists, pedestrians, and automobiles in our ward? We know that there's often competing interests among those groups. People use those types of transportation within our ward. And Kevin would like you to take first crack at it.
I agree with the term complete streets, but the reality of it is that complete streets do not work. In Ward 18, the size of the streets are 20 meters. What is required to give you complete streets to accommodate everybody is 36 meters. My way of fixing this issue is actually looking at the streets that could accommodate cyclists. So for me, the key words here are integration and accommodation. We can't have cyclists and cars on the same streets all the time. We have to choose streets that are going northbound and southbound and accommodate each individual. Each person has the right to use the streets. I agree with that completely, but we have to choose the ones that we do allow this to take place. Integration is key, and accommodation is also key. We first have to look at it. This is something we've been studying, and unfortunately the width is just not there, so all streets cannot have bike lanes, and all streets cannot accommodate streetcars and so forth. We would have to put our heads together as a community and put a vote to it and choose the ones that we think best suit our needs. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're going to ask the audience if you've got one or two questions, either again of all the candidates or one or two in particular related to the theme of transportation. Go ahead. Yeah, just want to stand up there.
Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready. So maybe we'll bother with the mic. Can you project and I'll repeat the question.
I think I might need the mic.
Yeah. We're going to be as insistent on timing again with questions as we are with answers. So 30 seconds.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Fernandez. I'm Chair of Dundas West BIA, and we'd like to know what concrete measures any of you propose for restoring our parking to the way it was prior to November 2009. And please, no big promises of examining the problem or community consultation. We all know what the problem was: misleading information and broken promises, and history has proven that the councillor and his office were capable of that. As far as the community, we collected 972 petition signatures in round 1, 328 postcard petitions in round 2 from residents and visitors to the area, numerous letters, emails, and other appeals to the councillor's office. That should have made it clear where the community stood. So at this point, we want to know, what are you prepared to do to fix the problem?
I think the parking should be restored immediately. Small businesses depend a lot on parking, and that's where most of their revenues come from, not just from people walking on the streets. I think Dundas West has the capability of actually providing parking for everyone. That's something we've actually went out, walked the streets, and looked at and see where parking could be reinstated. We don't have to start them right at the intersection, as was previously said, but we can move it further back, and everyone could park. Small businesses need to have deliveries. Right now they can't have that because if they park there, they get a ticket. We need to look at ways of educating also the police, because I believe they've become more of a revenue source for us instead of parking people. But we need to have parking in a way that it gives us the ability to have our deliveries for small businesses and the ability to get out of our car, walk in there, have a coffee, and chat with someone.